Hey, Facebook fam. It's been a minute, you guys. I know it's been a minute. I had not been feeling well, to be honest. Um, right in the middle of me producing and doing the 30-day challenge. So I stopped on day 22. I'm actually on day 23 now. Today is day 23. Y'all, it was rough. I think it was Sunday. I went live. Child, by Monday, I woke up, everything. It was a mess. But I am here and I am back. If you're here, let me know that you're here. If you can hear me. Hey, what's up, Brad? So I am back, you guys. I was sick as all get out, y'all. I tried to go live. I tried to do all kind of stuff and it just wasn't working. And so I had to honestly listen to my body and listen to me because I've been running a lot. I've been traveling a lot and prepping for the mastermind. But listen, y'all, I am back. So if we have not met, my name is Keandra Ward. I'm the founder of the KWI Collective. We're a marketing, public relations, and media firm here in the Tampa Bay area. You can hear me good. I mean, listen, y'all. Thank you. It was a mess. It was a mess. But I wanted to come on tonight and just tell you, of course, we're going to talk about pour because that's coming up on the 7th. We ride on the 7th, y'all. And I just wanted to encourage you guys and really let you know that no matter what you go through in life, you can overcome it and you can do it and you can still accomplish your goals. So let me talk to you about that before we talk about pour. So most people know that there were several passings in my family that were very close to me. My grandmother, y'all know, prior to her passing, every time I talked about my why, she was one of my main whys. There were certain things that I just wanted to accomplish that I wanted to do prior to her passing or just her getting older. And then I call him my son. He is my daughter's oldest brother. One of my first babies. He is my baby. He passed away as well at the ripe age of 29 years old. So it was just hard. It's been hard. Okay. So January was a year to Shay's passing. And we're going on 3 years, almost 3 years for my grandmother, November. So the holidays is really a hard time for me. So last year, I don't know, with it coming up on a year of Shay and then my grandmother being gone, y'all, I couldn't do it. Like it was just a really hard time for me. And I was doing some things in honor of my grandmother, and the lady who was helping me with it, she passed away. And then my computer died and I lost all footage of everything that I was going to do. And so I'm having to restart that. So as I kept trying to restart it and redo the project, my emotions just went overtime. Like I just kept crying. I couldn't get through getting the project done. And I'm at a place where I'm starting to do that now. And so by January, I was really in it is what it is. You only live once type of mode, right? So I was like, look, you only live once. This is the, way you're supposed to live. Nah, all that kind of stuff. And so, it wasn't that, I can't say that it wasn't that I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't I could care less type of situation. It was more of, are you living a life like you're doing all of these things and you're trying to live right. You're trying to do everything right. And stuff is still happening. So what's the whole point in doing stuff right? Like, hey, Brittany, what's the whole point of just being, whatever? So in January, I would say the first half of the year, January, February, March, April, May, and maybe even into June, I literally was like, I was wild according to Keandra. Y'all know it ain't too wild. You know what I'm saying? I was doing stuff that I normally would never do, but it wasn't like out the box crazy, okay? But it was just stuff I had done it I would never do. And I was like, all right, well, come June, now mind you, in the midst of this, I'm still sad. I'm mourning. I'm sleeping most of the day and working at night, for my clients, doing the things that I need to do. But I really wasn't happy. I was really in a place of a depressive state, to be honest. And I wasn't living according to the potential of who I know to be. I'm still the crazy thing about this is I'm still there for everybody else. So if somebody called me and they needed prayer, you know, I'd suck it up. Like I'd be like, okay, give me like 5 minutes. I'd go into my prayer closet and be like, Lord, decrease me, increase you, because my sister or my brother needs you, need you right now. And I need to be that vessel because they called me. So help me deal with this with me so that I can, you know, help them or whatever, or pray for them. So I would do that and then, you know, do what I had to do, get off the phone with them, and then get back in the bed, probably crying or something. And I realized, I said, so in June, everybody knows I've been in business for years. So you guys know I look at fiscal years, I look at quarters, I look at, you know, what we do in business per quarter, per month, and everything like that. So by June, because I was going through, and I mean, literally at a place of just, it was just not good. I was like, the year is gone. I ain't gonna be able to accomplish nothing. Blah, 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 blah. You know, like I met some goals, not all of my goals. And it's just, we just gonna scrap this year because da, 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 da. And I, for most of you that know, when I talk about I'm a worshiper and then I worship and I pray, like I really do. My friends will be able to stand by that and tell you, like, I really do. And I just went into a worship. And one of the things, when I go into worship, I go into my prayer closet and I just seek God. And so one of the things that he told me in this time was, he was like, I know, now mind you, let me caveat, I talk to God like I'm talking to my homeboy, right? And I feel like he talked to me that way because that's just the way we roll, right? So he goes, like, I know you ain't trying to cap what I could do. Like, so you telling me in this next 6 months I can't do nothing? Okay, so you telling me because 6 months have passed and you haven't done anything that I can't do nothing. So I'm sitting up there, like, I called my friend, I was like, yo, God just told me up. Like, he's sitting up there like, yeah, you trying to say that I can't do anything? So then 2 weeks later, right? 2 weeks later, I get an email about an award. The first award that my company was getting, and you had to be present, so I couldn't receive that one because you had to be present to win, type of situation. But we were nominated, right? And had I been present, I would have gotten the award, but I couldn't be present. Then the second one I got went to New York, right? Now, mind you, this is like 2 weeks from the time that God said, I can't do nothing, right? Then the third one came up, you guys. Like, I'm sitting up here like, okay, see you, God, right? Then a fourth opportunity came, and I'm sitting up here like, all right, hands up, I'm done. So God was like, listen, you think that because you were in a mode that I'm going to stop the plans that I had for you because you weren't moving the way you were supposed to. Just because we don't move, just because we may pause, just because we may shift, just because we may have an attitude or just not doing what we are supposed to do, that doesn't mean that God's plans for you, your business, and what he has called you to do within that year, within that time frame, I don't care if it's a year, 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, has changed. It can change, yeah, it could, but that doesn't mean it will. And so I sat there and I was like, oh my God. So listen, you guys, in this past 6 months, thank God, yes, in this past 6 months, not only has my firm, let me caveat, we're moving into literally our second year, really lively telling people. The first year, we were just kind of testing the waters and seeing what we're going to do for a living. You know what I'm saying? And how we're going to make this work. We have gotten over 35 placements. I think it was 35 or something and more. And we're still counting placements for our clients. We have received now three awards, 1 nomination, I believe. I have to make sure I'm saying that right. We've just beat the odds. And in the midst of me grieving, in the midst of me trying to figure this thing out, in the midst of me stopping what I was originally doing and following the call of God on my life in this season, in the midst of, he still did. Right. So I want you guys to realize, and I want you to be motivated. I want you to know that no matter what it looks like, if God said this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do. And that he'll take you through situations. He'll take you through things as you're building and as you're growing. One, to help you get through it, because you're going to need to deal with it to move to your next level. And two, to show you that his word will never return void, because he said some specific things, which I will not repeat because it's between me and him, to me about where I am and what I'm doing and where we're going. Right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still itching and it's and so I had to say, even though I was going through my grief and I did not feel like moving, I wasn't moving at the capacity that I thought I should be, he still moved. He still did. You know what I'm saying? And I want you guys to think about that. I want you to think about, no matter what, he still can. I mean, I am so thankful. We even got an award from Canva the other day. Like, just, it's our winning season. Like, it really is. God said go, and we are going. No matter what it looks like. And to get you back, let me kind of tell you guys where Pour came from. Now, I always look and ask God. I seek God. I go through a time of consecration every year around a certain time to prepare for the next year. And so I did that, and God gave the word pour to me. It came up in my spirit, and I just started researching, and I was just like, okay. And I started really trying to understand what God meant by pour. And for me, if you know me, when it comes to what I do for a living and training and teaching people, what I know, I will pour into you. I will do all that I can to make sure you understand the concepts of what we're talking about. Like, I go above and beyond because I want people to learn. Like, what's the point in coming if you're not really going to learn and take something with it? And I've had some amazing testimonies of people who have taken courses and classes and masterminds and worked with me and and I've gone on to do some amazing things. And he said, okay, so this season, I want you to be poured back into, and I want you to pour. See, what's happening is you're pouring, but you're not being poured back into. And so what you have to learn how to do is pour from your overflow and not from your cup, because you're not filling your cup up enough to where now you're feeling depleted, you're tired, you don't want to do it, just all those type of things. So I began to take classes. I have 1, 2, 3 mentors. I have, I'm always studying and learning and pouring back into me so that I can pour back into others. But in this season of my life, my cup is full. Like, anything that I'm doing that you guys see is from my overflow. I want you guys to understand that. And so from the overflow, you are not only getting what's in the cup, you're getting the stuff that's coming out too. And I am so excited. So not only is pour, so we're pouring. And of course, y'all know I'm an acronym person. So pour is an acronym. So pour is an acronym. Like, I do have an acronym. Yes, ma'am. From the overflow, I do have an acronym for pour. And the reason why I did that is simply because I believe that there is always a process to everything. So when I was telling people that I want to do the mastermind, I want to make sure it was listening, that I wanted to do the mastermind, I wanted to ensure that people understood my process and the way that I do things. I have a specific way that everything that I do, whether every strategy that I have, everything that I create, it's always going to be it's going to either be pillars to it, it's going to be acronyms or stages to it. That's just how I operate. I have to be organized like that. So when we look at pour, the first is P. That means pause. Now, the reason why we're going to pause, now understand this is a marketing, public relations, and media mastermind. We're going to pause first. Why? Because we need to get quiet and we need to see where we are. Pausing means we just going to chill for a minute. I want you to just stop doing what you're doing and let's see where you are. Let's see what really is going on. Let's look at where you truly, truly are, right? And then we're going to organize some things. Then we're going to look at, all right, so what do you have? What do you need? Where do you want to go? And how do we get you there, right? Then we make sure you understand. So, of course, in the teaching, we'll make sure you understand the concepts that we're teaching and why we're doing what we're doing, especially in marketing, especially in PR. Why is it important in media? Understanding how to do things and understanding why you do things. And then react. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I talk about marketing, and marketing is an activity that you have to continuously do. It's a reaction to things. So you have to react to the answers that you get from your marketing efforts. You have to react all the time. Like, it's a reactive state. You have to be in a reactive state when you're marketing and doing PR. Why? Because you have to know where you are, what the results are, and the changes you want to make. Like, you have to react to the answers that you're getting, right? So do we need to change things? Do we need to keep it up? Do we need to put more money here? What do we need to do? What reaction do we need to have for the answers to our analytics? So things like that. So using Pour, it does have a two I don't know, a two in focus. Yes, it's technical for marketing, PR, and media, but it's also almost like the spiritual side of really pausing and pouring back into yourself and making sure that your cup is full so that you can pour into others, and really understanding that process, and understanding that for me, when I say that I give my business to God and that I really truly ask him about our next steps, like, I really do, y'all. Like, I really am at a place in my life where I feel like I don't want to do anything void of him. I don't want to do, I've done it before void of him, and I ain't like it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's every area of my life. I probably have done something void of him and didn't like it. So what I want you guys to really understand is that this is not the season to play with what God has given you. Okay. We spend a lot of time on our branding. We spend a lot of time on building our assets, but we don't spend a lot of time on actually creating a plan to actually fully market with the assets and the branding and the style that we've created for our brand. We look at marketing as a last ditch effort. Most times people come to me when they're at their wits end. They've tried everything and now they want to throw some money and want me to do something. Well, that's not when I want you. That I probably won't take you as a client at that time, simply because we're not a last ditch effort type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say it. Like, most people don't put marketing into their budget until the very end, until they're trying to figure things out because of what they've been doing ain't working. And what I want you to do is think of it on the forefront. I want you to place a marketing budget in your budget every year. I want you to do it in the beginning, not at the end. And then what happens is you do it at the tail end. And mind you, you're at the tail end of your budget, right? So you only have maybe like 30 days worth of a budget. And then you want something to go, happen, go viral or whatever in 30 days. And that might not be the case. Some people we have, and they've done really well. Some people, it's just not the case, right? So now you're upset because it's not working. Well, one, you got to give it time. One, marketing takes time, especially SEO and things like that. It is just not an overnight thing. It's not a 30-day thing. It is something that takes time to do and takes time to get reaction from, right? The second thing about that is when you think about when you're doing things last minute. Think about when you're planning something and it's last minute. Look, how are your last minute efforts really what are the results you get for your last minute efforts outside of the things that you actually put time and energy into and focus into, right? Think about the difference between the two. So marketing and public relations is not a last minute effort. Then the thought is I want people to understand the difference, what public relations really is. And it's communications. It's making sure that your brand is visible and the visibility of your brand is communicated effectively across all mediums. That's one. Two, yes, it's the visibility of getting you on TV and things like that. But it is not, sales. What happens is you have your public relations team who may find efforts for you to show up different places. Once you get there, then it is up to your sales and marketing team to drive and convert them. Right. So a lot of times people want it to be all in one, and that's really not. not it. It's several pieces to the puzzle as to how it works. So most times, if you look at it, and I'm going to give you an example. You've pitched yourself and you've gotten on your local news. That's great. You got there, you went on the local news, they did the segment on you, and then there were no conversion efforts. Like you couldn't see an influx of too much after that. That's because there was no real strategy after it. There and you know, if your goal was to sell and you went on there and you did not have the proper media training, you might not have said the right things to sell. You see what I'm saying? So it all goes hand in hand. And then once you sell, they go to your website, then it's up to your marketing team and your sales team to then take that information and drive conversions over to, drive it into conversions, whatever. It's a sale, it's a like, it's a sign up, whatever that looks like. So collectively, comms departments usually work together. And so I want people to just kind of understand the difference between them all. But on the flip side, in this mastermind, we're literally going to create a marketing plan for you that you can do even by yourself, even if you don't have a whole comms team or a whole PR team. I want people to at least be able to understand the why, the how, and the when around what to do, how to do it, as it relates to the media, as it relates to building a marketing plan, as it relates to developing efforts around that. What we have to realize is that there's a reason why in business you have the business plan. Inside of the business plan, you have the business identity. You have a marketing plan. You have a sales strategy plan. You have your brand identity plan. You know what I'm saying? Like there's plans inside the business plan. There's a reason why a business plan you have your financial plan. There's a reason why, because all of those are needed to get to that next space. What we do is we focus more on the visual side, the social media side. Most times, most people are focused on getting the website up, and then you're focused on posted on social media. You're focused on that, which is absolutely needed, and not saying you shouldn't, but what's the strategy around that? What are you trying to get from that, and what efforts are you looking for, and are you receiving the results that you're actually looking for? Do you know what to look for? You know what I'm saying? All of those things are very important to kind of engage, because otherwise you will get tired of just coming online and posting because you feel like you're just doing stuff. And when you understand the why behind it, and you can see the efforts, where even if it's a small move of the needle, you understand that you have a certain goal that you're going to. And so it makes sense, even if you're moving up the needle, kind of slowly. You always know your goal. But when you don't have any goals, you can feel burnt out because you're like, it's not moving, it's not happening. And you don't really understand the analytics behind the strategies that you're doing posting. So I look at every aspect of the business. Most people know I started in business development and branding. And then marketing has just been something that has come to me naturally, that I've always loved to do. And then I began to study it, and then I went and got my master's in it. I have my bachelor's in what we call industrial organizational psychology. And it's literally the communications of psychology, to be honest, of business, the communications of business psychology, understanding strategy and behaviors of buyers, understanding internal behaviors of your staff. That's what an IO psychologist does. We help organizations understand the communication and relationship between their buyers and their employees. So that's what I have a degree in. And then I have a master's degree in digital marketing. And then I have a host of other certifications and things like that. So I'm not new to this. It is not communications. Isn't something that I just popped out of the sky with. It's something that I have done for years. And I'm just at a place where I'm finally comfortable, to be honest, just comfortable with saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is how we do it. And developing a brand that supports that, and not being all over the place. So the issue that I've had in the past is that I am multi-talented and multifaceted. So I can do a lot of things very well. And so it was always hard for me to focus in business simply because I just did what the people needed. So like if you needed me to be your branding person, if you needed me to help you business, I'm just doing it. If you need me marketing, whatever it is you need, let me help you. Well, I did really well financially, even doing it that way. But I realized that I was burnt out. I didn't have a strategic focus. And I didn't want to coach anymore in that type of facet. Like I didn't want to do that anymore. And so I had to sit down and really figure out which way to go. And the results of what you see today with the KWI Collective is me actually taking the process that I'm going to teach you guys in this mastermind and doing it for myself. Like I had to do it for me first before I could do it for you. And so I'm really just taking what I've already known and already done, the strategy that I put together for me. And now, and I did it for us. And I'm still, we're still in the process, of course. And now I'm going to show you how we did it and why we did it and the strategy behind it. It's literally paying it forward. I've taken a lot of what I've learned over my career. You guys know I started, well, you might not know, in coaching and being an influencer and things like that in 2012. So it is now 2023. We're moving to 2024. So I have a lot of backing, a lot of knowledge. I've had a lot of success and a lot of failure, and I've done a lot of things. And so all of the things that we're going through and that we're going to be talking about are things that I've already done. So I literally took the strategies. I literally took, to be honest, let me tell y'all how I did it. I'm going to give y'all the real, okay? And don't tell nobody, it's a little secret. Hey, Mom, I can't wait to have you too. I got to get back with you, and I will. I took I looked at every brand I've ever developed. And I looked at what are the pillar strategies that I've used to help us get there. Okay. And so you guys have seen me talk about it. Is get clarity, gain focus, generate profits. Literally, I said, what happened? So the first thing we have to do is be stark clear. The clarity that you need to succeed is going to be important. So get clarity. Okay. You have to be very, 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 very clear who you are, what you do, why you do it, who you do it for, when you do it for them, and how you do it for them, right? Clear. And I mean clear, clear, clear. Once you are very clear, then it's easy to focus. So now you have a linear focus. And then once you have a linear focus breeds consistency. What does consistency bring? Visibility. What does visibility continue to bring? Profits. So I took the strategy. I just literally packaged it up, figured out how I've been doing it over the years in different aspects, put it together, and that's our signature. That's how I do everything that we teach you. So even though we're going through the POUR strategy, it's still get clarity, gain focus, generate profits. It's still wrapped in that, simply because that works. I've watched it work. I've done very well with it working. And so I'm not going to I ain't recreating the wheel. I have already written out these wheels, took these wheels, put them on the car, drove them, put them did the circle dirt, how they used to do. Well, I ain't gonna even say the circle dirt because we ain't do that. I'm from Cleveland. The ice, how they treaded in the ice. We did all of that. Okay. I've already tested these tires out. So I know that they're good. I know that they're sound, and I know that they work. What we have to realize is that we love what we do, but everybody else may not. You have to get buy-in from people in what you do, because you're not the one buying your services. And I think that's where we get mixed up as it relates to marketing, especially in branding as well, which is why I have the team that y'all, let me tell y'all, did I bring it up here? Yeah. I mean, the people that we have for y'all in this is our first one, and I'm so excited. First of all, we bring in my girl, Felicia Marshall. Now, listen, if you know me, you know Felicia and I have worked together for years. She has probably been one of the the sounding boards for me over the years, and we have been for each other, as it relates to accountability and bringing stuff forward. And I want you guys to really have someone that teaches you the importance of accountability in life and business as you're developing and building your brands and as you're pulling together these strategies. It's important. I tell people all the time, I don't just do business with you, we do life with you. And I had to bring a life component into this simply because no matter what we do in life, is still going to life. You're still going to be, it's still going to happen. So I want you to put some strategy around what that looks like. And Felicia is the perfect person. So when God, and that honestly was a last minute add on when I went back. So God gave me the flow of what to do. I took it back to him and I was like, is this what we still doing? He said, yes. And so I called Felicia. I was like, listen, I need you to come in. I need you to do this. And y'all do not want to miss that. Then the second one he's going to bring in, he was like, all right, you're going to tell them how to market it. You're going to tell them how to package. You're going to tell them how to pitch. But when the people come, they need some type of sales strategy. Are you going to teach them how to, some tips on selling? I don't teach sales. That's not what I do. So I had to go get the GOAT, one of my mentors. And this man, I have watched him build sustainable, amazing businesses over the years and sell his behind off just by being who he is and understanding his product and services. And he's going to teach you. He is the author of Shut Up and Close the Deal. He's going to teach us some tips on actually selling our product, service, and brands. Like, really, what does that look like? Why are we selling? Why don't we sell? Him and I had a conversation today, is really understanding why are we so afraid to sell ourselves and our products to people? Why are we afraid to close that deal? Why are we afraid to ask for the sale? Why are we afraid of that? But if we were selling for somebody else, if you were going to somebody 9 to 5 and you had to sell, you'd be on their phones selling them newspapers, selling that magazine ad. You'll be doing what you got to do for somebody else. But why is it so hard for us to do it for ourselves? I definitely want to talk about that. But he's also going to give you some practical sales strategies as well. All right. So then we got my girl Linnea coming. Now, what I love about her is, although she is a publicist, she's a journalist as well. She was a news anchor. And so from both sides, she's been able to see pitching from both sides, pitching to other journalists as a public relations specialist, right? But then as a news anchor, receiving pitches from people. And so she's really going to talk about what they look for and what journalists look for when they're reviewing your pitches and what you should be doing if you're going to be pitching, things like that. So we're going to have that conversation. And I think that's a very valuable conversation to have. Now, not just for pitching. And this is not, I don't want people to take this just as pitching for the media. When you are pitching, say you're in a contest, like a branding contest or some type of business contest, and you have to pitch your business, she's going to help us really understand what people are really looking for and how to do that. So I'm excited about that. And then, y'all, we had to go. Miss Cheryl Pullins coming. We're going to talk about branding. We're going to talk about the brand, simply because you can't have a brand. You can't market without a brand. So most people, when they come to me, I actually really look at their brand. And if I don't think their brand is ready to go through a true, real marketing campaign, then what we do is we refer them to one of our branding experts for them to actually have that, take that time to really do that. I don't know. Just take the time to really focus on their brand and map out their brand and then so we can market effectively. Because what happens a lot of times is people want us to go through the marketing efforts and then they changed their brand all the way totally because they weren't very clear on their brand aesthetics anyway in the beginning. So then now we've done all these efforts under the style, look, and feel of one brand, and that's not what you're doing, because as you're marketing, you realize that's not even the market that you thought was your market. It's not your market. The feel that you thought you wanted really isn't the feel. So it makes our efforts null and void, and I don't like that. So I would prefer you have a very sound brand, even if you're still building it out, but some sound, concrete strategies, and understand the personal brand, your personal brand in and of itself, and that you are a brand in and of yourself. So we're going to talk about that. I'm so excited to have Miss Cheryl. We have been connected for years. Before I even started, she was my first coach when I began my coaching career. Honestly, I was actually, let me go ahead and give y'all a little story. If you know, I was a hairstylist for 20 plus years prior to doing the things that I do now. And Michelle was one of my clients, actually. And so she would come into the salon and she was always like writing in this notebook. She'd be under the dryer, just, I mean, going like just writing. So one day I was like, what is you writing in that book? You was always writing in that book. And so she advised that, you know, she was would be leaving corporate and launching her own coaching business as a brand specialist and as a business coach and as a brand coach, and then end up turning into a brand coach. And I was like, well, let me be your first client because I want to do it, you know, I want to do stuff. So that's literally how that happened. And so over the years, she has touched some of the most prominent coaches and people that you see out here today. She's probably serviced them and worked with them at some point, and she's really amazing at what she's doing. I'm so excited to have her. And y'all know I'm coming with that fire. I'm excited. Y'all don't understand. It has been a while. It's probably been 2 years since I've done any type of mastermind or things like that, because I really did shut it down to really hear from God and focus on, maybe even 3, on where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do. So I'm really excited to be back in this seat and really doing what I'm called to do and what I love to do, helping people just have those aha moments, showing you that the work that you're doing and that you have been doing within your brand is not in vain. Like, you know what I'm saying? That you're doing some great things and that people do need what you have. It's just a matter of making them understand it enough to know that they need you. So that's us, y'all. We are coming with that fire starting the 7th. So if you have not registered, I need you to go to our website, the KWIcollective.com/pour. Or once you get to the website, you'll see POUR2023. Click on it, click on the link, and go ahead and register. We start on the 7th. We will be meeting every Tuesday for 6 weeks for this mastermind. And I mean, listen, y'all, I'm excited. I brought out the big guns. I've brought my people. I'm so excited that these amazing experts have said yes to this journey with me to help me help y'all dream big. You know what I'm saying? To really help y'all understand your purpose in the marketplace, and to go after what you're called to go after, and not be afraid to sell, not be afraid to market, not be afraid to share, not be afraid to pitch, and not be afraid to relay your brand, like who you are and what you do. One of my favorite quotes is that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It's the being educated and understanding those things will take you, I mean, having an understanding of your brand and being so clear, and then with that clarity, marketing effectively, and understanding why you're doing what you're doing is always going to breed results that you couldn't even imagine for your business. So I'm ready just to help you build out your business plan, your short-term business plan, and then you can take that and really grow from that. Most times, you realize that most entrepreneurs do not have an actual physical business plan or marketing plan. So we're not, I'm sorry, I said business plan, but we're not going to do business plans. It is going to be a marketing, PR, and media plan, but most people don't have a business plan. And if you don't have a business plan, I know you don't have a marketing, an actual written out marketing plan. So how can you grow? How can you determine where you are and where you want to go if you don't have a sound strategy, a written out, planned strategy that you can check in and review and see where you are and make adjustments and changes and monitor the results? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you expect to grow. And I think, no, I do understand, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we think as long as we consistently post and go on social media, that something to click one day, something to go viral one day, or somebody will consistently see it. And that is absolutely true. And that is absolutely a strategy, but that is not the end all be all of marketing. And I really want us to look at that, and that there's so many other avenues, ads, SEO, the going into the media, networking. There's so many other aspects of marketing your brand, influencer marketing, all kind of things. There's so many different aspects of it that I want you guys to really take into consideration, the different opportunities that you have to really showcase your brand, and know that you're minimalizing your efforts by not seeing if you can tap into all of those things. So I hope that you guys can make it. I hope that you guys can join us. Listen, this is going to be amazing. The team and I are ready. We cannot wait to serve you. This is Pour 2023. This is our inaugural mastermind. We will be doing this yearly, every year. Of course, the way I look at it, every year, we're going to grow. And every year I'm going to put to everything that I have into anything that I do. So I have put everything that I got into this, as it relates to just going over everything I've learned, everything I've experienced over the last 3 years building this brand. Remember, we started the first year and we scaled the business a little over 300. It was over 300% in our first year. We have now 3 or 4 awards in marketing, PR, and media, and the things that we're called to do. And we're growing. We're at a place where we're just really figuring out our next and taking you guys along with us on this journey. So definitely hope that you can make it. Please visit the website, thekwcollective.com/pour2023. You'll see it right when we get on the homepage. Join us. We start on the 7th. Do not miss this opportunity. This 6-week immersive marketing, public relations, and media mastermind. The team and I, we're ready to give everything we got to help you grow and be who you've called to be in the marketplace. Definitely hope that you guys have an amazing, amazing, amazing Tuesday, and I'll talk to you guys soon.